with some serious breaking news from the world of golf, and not something that people expected. It was just a year ago, you might remember, the first Live Golf event was held, sending shockwaves through the game that shattered long-held structures, partnerships and relationships. You were Live Golf or you were not. There has been no middle way. But in a shock announcement, all three major governing bodies of the sport have now come together. The US-based PGA Tour, the European-based DP World Tour and the Saudi-backed Live Golf Tour have announced a landmark agreement to unify their sport on a global basis, coming together in a commercial partnership, as they put it. One of the most prominent Live Golf members, six-time major winner Phil Mickelson, has tweeted simply, "Awesome day today," with a big smiley face. So, for more, I'm delighted to say I'm joined by my World Sport colleague, Don Riddell. Don, you have done a lot of these golf events over the last 12 months or so. Phil Mickelson is happy. I mean, you've got to say, it's a huge turning of the tables. What do we know about how it's come about and what we're set to expect?
I mean, Amanda, this has literally just dropped in the last 45 minutes. It's taken a lot of us by surprise. It's taken a lot of people that follow professional golf and only professional golf by surprise. Dan Rappaport just tweeting that he is genuinely shocked about this and it's going to need a minute for him to process what this all means. On the face of it, I think it's a win for golf. It has been so fractured, the professional men's game, by this civil war that's really kicked off in the last year. And as a result of the emergence of the Live Tour and some of the really, really big names that they were able to snag, a lot of fan favourites kind of disappeared from view. And we saw at the Masters and the PGA Championship recently that some of these golfers are still really, really good. Remember, at the Masters, we had Brooks Koepka, Mickelson, Patrick Reed finishing in the top 5 or 6. We had Brooks Koepka winning the PGA Championship just a couple of weeks ago. And now we're in this position where, from what we understand, at the end of this season, the players that were exiled by the former European Tour, the DP World Tour and the PGA Tour, they are now going to be allowed to reapply to those tours. All pending litigation is finished. We know that the big tours were suing each other. Live was suing them, they were suing Live, the players were kind of suing various tours, and it was all really, really messy. And you could see quite recently that it was starting to take a toll on some of these players. For example, Rory McIlroy, who emerged as the conscience of men's golf, and he was hailed and lauded for the stance that he took. But he admitted recently that it was starting to take a real kind of toll on his game, and he just didn't want to be talking about it anymore. And now we have this situation where apparently they're all going to come back together. So this seems like a win for golf. It's going to be really interesting to see how the Saudis are perceived in all of this, because, of course, they were accused of sports washing. They were accused of using golf to further their own agenda. And now they are very much in the mix with these established legacy tours. Some will say it's a win for the Saudis.
Yeah, I mean, I've got the statement here. It is a lengthy one. There are statements from all three parties involved in this. The PGA Tour Commissioner, Jay Monahan, in part says this: after 2 years of disruption and distraction, this is a historic day for the game we all know and love. I applaud PIF, that is the Public Investment Fund in Saudi Arabia, Governor Yasir Al-Rumayyan, for his vision and collaborative and forward-thinking approach that is not just a solution to the rift in our game, but also a commitment to taking it to new heights. Given all the opposition to this Live Golf series, you have to say that is a concession. And I mean, do you see that as an admission from Jay Monahan that actually they got a whole lot right with the Live Golf series?
I'm not so sure that we can see it that way. I mean, when this all kicked off last year, a lot of people were wondering if actually they could have, would have merged at that point, and perhaps there was a way that they could have all peacefully coexisted and avoided all of this. And it does seem as though we've got to that point some 12 months later, albeit with an awful lot of heartache in the meantime. It's going to be really interesting to see how these guys all come back together, and we're going to see that, quite pointedly next week, because we've got another major rapidly coming up, the US Open in Los Angeles. I think some of the LIV golfers might be feeling rather smug at the moment. Of course, they took all the slings and arrows, but they also took an enormous amount of money to join LIV, and they've ended up coming back into the fold anyway, having earned tens, if not hundreds of millions of dollars in the process. So that's going to be really interesting. What does this mean for the Ryder Cup? The Ryder Cup, particularly in Europe, which is such a well-loved event, seemed to have been broken by this split. The Europeans had to replace their captain. Henrik Stenson was kicked out off the captaincy and replaced by Luke Donald. Some of the established veterans of the European team, like Luke Westwood and Ian Poulter, were told they could never play for the European team again. Does this mean that they can now be involved again? Does this mean that the Ryder Cup is fixed? A lot of people would certainly hope so, but it's still too early to really know how exactly this is going to play out and what it all means. But I think certainly if you're a golf fan and you love seeing the best players in the world competing on the same course at the same time, then this is good news.
Don, stay with us, because you mentioned Brian Katerick. I know a friend of World Sport, a golf broadcaster for many years. I'm delighted to say he now joins us on the phone. Brian, my first question to you. We're all pretty stunned here in the studio by this news. What is your reaction?
I am stunned as well. Was packing for what I thought was going to be a pretty random normal Tuesday, and this is one of those days. Luckily, in the world of sports, everything we do is a little less important than the rest, which is good. So my phone blows up, and it's this news. So yes, stunned, I think, is the exact right word.
There has been much of a discussion already about who is the biggest winner from this. Do you have any idea who might have been behind this, who was pushing for it? Who does it benefit most?
Well, I agree with Don. I'm glad he just said it, because I come at this from a fan standpoint. As a golf announcer, both as a talk show host and a play-by-play host, we're servicing the fan. And I also get to play this game, and so many others play this game. That's one thing that separates this game from the others, is that we play it. We watch the other sports. Maybe we played them when we were kids, but this is a game for a lifetime. So your fandom runs a little deeper, and the fans are going to be happy. What do the fans get? And we don't even have all the details, but what it seems like the fans are going to get are more of the best players playing together at the same time. That's who immediately seems to be the winner. I don't know that I agree that there's a clear winner and a loser with the rest of them, because we don't have all the rest of the details. I think we're going to be quick to say, oh, the tour lost on this. I'm not so sure about that. And as long as the fans win, that's really all I care about.
The fans, of course, go to these events, watch these events because of the players. And there has no doubt been an incredible rift that has formed over the last 12, 24 months within the locker room. You know, whether you're on the side of Rory McIlroy and Tiger Woods, or the side of the likes of Phil Mickelson and Brooks Koepka. You know, how broken do you think that is? How easy will it be for those relationships to be repaired?
I think most of them weren't that broken, and most of them will be repaired easily. And I think that's a heck of a question. And I think we saw that. Go back to Tuesday of the Masters. Don and I talked. We were both surprised that Rory and Brooks were playing a practice round together. That wasn't mandated. They just decided to. And they knew that it was actually going to cause more questions and actually make their lives more complicated. They did it anyway because they enjoyed each other's company. So I think you've got more of that than you have of anything else. And I think most of the fans, or most of the players, are just happy to have this go away. Go back to the Open Championship. Cam Smith wins. He beats Rory, with rumors swirling about whether Cam Smith was leaving or not. That felt like a loss if you were rooting for the PGA Tour team. Then you had to feel like the exact opposite when Brooks Koepka coughs up the lead at the Masters. Well, if you're a LIV fan and not a PGA Tour fan, that had to feel like a loss. And then it goes back the exact opposite way to the PGA Championship. Look, we're golf fans. Major championships are not supposed to feel like a loss to us. There's always supposed to be something to root for. But these last three we've had have handed a significant portion of the fandom's losses. And that golf has never felt like that before. And I'm glad that it won't feel like that anymore.
You suspect it's not going to go away just yet, given we are in the final build-up, aren't we, to next week's US Open. I think a whole lot of players are going to be asked a whole lot of questions, plenty more still to come. But Brian Katerick, thank you as ever for your time. John Riddell, for now, thank you as well.